Right now, somewhere, someone is falling in love for the very first time. Their heart is doing something it has done for over 1,000,000 years. They don't know that. They just think it's new. But it isn't. Not even close. Because somewhere, deep in the past, there was a first time. A first human who felt this exact rush. And the strange part is, scientists think they can pinpoint roughly when it began. Not the wedding, not the mating, the feeling. That specific, dizzying, can't eat, can't sleep feeling. That's the part that's oddly recent, evolutionarily speaking. And it changes everything about how you understand your own chest right now, today, when you see someone you like. Here's where it starts. Before romantic love, there was just survival. Early hominins, the ancestors before modern humans, needed to reproduce, sure, but that's not the same as loving someone. Animals reproduce all the time without anything close to romance. A frog doesn't pine. A lizard doesn't write poetry in its head at 2 a.m. So somewhere along the way, something extra got bolted onto simple mating instinct. Anthropologist Helen Fisher spent decades studying this exact question. She proposed that romantic love isn't one thing, it's three separate systems layered on top of each other. Lust, attraction, attachment. Each one evolved for a different reason at a different time. Lust is old, really old. It's shared with almost every mammal. It just wants a mate, any mate, right now. Attraction is stranger. This is the part where your brain becomes obsessed with one specific person. Fisher's research showed this system floods the brain with dopamine, the same chemical involved in addiction. That's not a metaphor. Early love and cocaine light up strikingly similar regions of the brain. Why would evolution build something that looks like a drug? Think about it. If early humans felt an obsessive, laser-focused pull toward one partner, they were more likely to stick around, more likely to protect that person, more likely to raise a child together instead of wandering off. The feeling wasn't a bonus, it was a strategy. And then there's attachment, the calm after the storm, the part where you don't feel dizzy anymore, you just feel safe. Researchers point to oxytocin and vasopressin here, hormones tied to bonding, released during touch, during closeness, during the quiet moments of a relationship. This is what kept early parents together long enough to raise a child who couldn't survive alone for years. Human babies are helpless for a shockingly long time. Someone had to stay. So when did attraction, the obsessive part, the falling part, actually show up in our lineage? This is where it gets murky. Bones don't preserve feelings. There's no fossil labeled "in love." But anthropologists look at clues. Pair bonding, shared parenting, evidence of long-term partnerships in early Homo species going back maybe 1.8 million years. Biological anthropologist Lucy Cavendish, whose work focuses on hominin social bonds, argues that something like proto-romantic attachment likely predates modern Homo sapiens entirely. It may have started with Homo erectus, long before anyone who looked like you existed. That's a strange thought, isn't it? Someone hundreds of thousands of years before writing, before language as we know it, before fire was even reliably controlled in some regions, felt their heart do something unexpected when a particular person walked by. They wouldn't have called it love, they didn't have the word, but their body didn't need the word. The dopamine didn't care what century it was in. And here's the twist that usually surprises people. Romantic love, the version you feel, wasn't guaranteed to survive as a universal human trait. Plenty of species show pair bonding without anything resembling emotional obsession. Plenty of early human groups may have organized differently, more communally, less romantically, at least at first. Some anthropologists think romantic love as a near-universal human experience got reinforced over time because it worked. Groups where partners felt fiercely, irrationally attached to each other tended to raise children more successfully. The feeling spread not because it was poetic, because it was useful. There's something almost uncomfortable about that. The butterflies, the racing thoughts, the way you replay a conversation in your head, all of it traces back to a cold evolutionary answer. Stay close, protect this person, don't wander. But maybe that doesn't make it less real. If anything, it makes it older than almost anything else you feel. Older than your language, older than your name, older than the idea of a wedding ring or a first date or a text that says, "You up?" The first human to feel this probably had no idea what was happening to them. No context, no movies to compare it to, no friends saying, "That's just butterflies, you'll be fine." Just a strange, overwhelming physical pull toward one person out of everyone else in their small world. And now, so many thousands of generations later, you feel the exact same pull, same dopamine, same racing pulse, same inability to think clearly when they text back. You didn't invent this feeling. You inherited it from someone whose name we'll never know, whose face no one will ever see, who felt their heart do something strange for the very first time and just kept walking toward it anyway. Right now, somewhere, someone is falling in love for the very first time. It only feels new to them. It's actually one of the oldest things a human can feel.